Hey guys, Foxdrop here with another viewer analysis video. Seeing as the last one I did went down fairly well and there was some good feedback, I figured I would start doing more of these. Now I am, this game we're looking at a Skarner gameplay. This is around the low gold, high silver level in solo queue. And I had a bit of problem deciding on a game to feature for this video because with patch 5.21, which very recently came out, it broke all of the replays from older patches, so I really didn't have a lot to choose from. Now, this is going to be a game, we're watching the Skarner, and this is, obviously we're going to be looking at what this guy could do better, all that lovely business, but this is actually a game where Skarner does quite well. I'm sorry for the spoilers, but, you know, yeah, he does quite well in this game. Now, usually I don't like to feature these games because I like to look at the mistakes because I think you can learn more from that. But I also think that maybe I put too much of an emphasis on the stuff you do wrong, your mistakes, fixing your mistakes, and I don't put enough emphasis on when you do well to really just, pat yourself on the back and to recognize when you do things well and just say, you know what, I did really fucking good here. I need to do more of that. Good job, me. Because that's really bloody important. It's important, just to be proud of your own performances and to not get wallowed in the negative and the defeats and just, just take things as they are. And if you do well, then great. You did well. Excellent. So this game, like I say, it's a Skarner gameplay. Runes and masteries, you can kind of do whatever you want. Skarner is quite versatile, but 2190 will be your masteries. And for runes, I'd probably just go for like an attack, damage reds, attack speed, quints, armor yellows, and just like CDRMR blues, something like that. And this guy started at his cruise down the bot lane, which is pretty standard. Get a good leash from his bot side. He decided not to double jungle because Riven can take away the chicken camp quite easily. So oftentimes Riven just wants to do the chickens by herself. And instead now he's just going to do a level 3 clear here. Now this guy has, where's his inventory? I can't, oh there it is, I'm an idiot. So this guy has done a pretty solid clear without having to pop many potions, which is great. And now, this is what I love about this, right? This is what I love about doing this level 3 clear, is where it's quite quick, and now it means he can set himself up for a great gank. And whenever you've got a Riven on your team, on the enemy team, whenever there's a Riven in the game, you should really pay attention to that lane, because Riven tends to draw a lot of attention to herself just with the way she plays. So Riven was getting herself low during the lane phase, so Zach's thinking, yeah, you know what, I kind of fancy a bit of this, and of course he overextends and he's going to die for the first blood. So it's really good to recognize when you have aggressive laners in your game that they're probably going to be good targets for the gank, because not only will the enemies often be low on health because they're being aggressive, but they will often be low on health as well, which might mean that the enemy jungler might show up, and so there's going to be a lot of action around there. So it's a decent idea to focus onto those aggressive lanes. Now this right here is just a very fortunate timing where he runs into the Amumu. Good flash by Amumu to get out of it, but again, if you're running around on low-ish health as the jungler, you do have to be careful of your surroundings. But to be perfectly honest, no one would expect the Skarner to come out of nowhere there. And this would be a bad idea if you went to dive this, because firstly, you don't really want to tower dive level 4, but secondly, if you don't have your flash, then tower diving is extremely risky. So Skarner now is probably going to go for, he's gone for Stalker's Blade, Boots, and he's going to be building into a Cinderhulk. Cinderhulk is probably the best jungle enchantment for Skarner, and this is what I really like here, what this guy's doing. He's just saying, he's not going to farm his jungle immediately. What he's doing is he's just like, you know what, I'm going to keep ganking. Like, he's just deciding to keep applying pressure. However, on contrast, this decision by Amumu is quite risky, but he's going to get away with it, which is good. And now they're going to get a double kill. Now, I don't really agree with that decision making. A level 3 Amumu going in for the gank there when he knows Skarner, who is stronger than him, is trailing. But it was a bit unfortunate. TF tried to flash the Tibbers, but was a bit too slow, and then Skarner didn't quite have the damage to chase onto him and to chase onto the Amumu to finish him off. So actually, this game isn't going too well to begin with. I do feel like Skarner's made some good decisions, But I also think, you know, it's kind of... Honestly, these deaths are just a bit unfortunate. I actually apologise if you guys can hear some fireworks going off in the background. It's, you know, Halloween, so I'm sure people are setting fire to things as you do down here in Essex. But anyway, level 4, going to be level 5 now. Level 5 at 8 minutes is kind of low. Usually you want to hit level 6 by this time, but it's not, you know, it's not a big deal. He can just keep farming, he'll be fine. And once he gets his level 6, his ganks become pretty next level. So he needs to be a bit careful he doesn't get caught here by the Annie. Now this was warded last time, he's got his pink ward so he can stomp this ward. But he probably won't be able to go and make a gank here, or if he does, then this is going to be a pretty shoddy play from the enemy team. If you know that the jungler is nearby, you probably shouldn't be playing aggressive. This is a very, very good exhaust by Thresh to try and keep the gank going. And now he leveled up to 6 from Soraka, and there we go. Pretty cheeky kills. That was, you know, this is a play which shouldn't have happened. This should not have happened. Once you know Skarner's about and you've got a Thresh on your team who can lantern in the jungler, it's risky. Very, very risky for you to keep staying around. This does open up the opportunity, of course, which Skarner has just pinged, for taking the dragon. Taking dragon as Skarner when you have that point is quite easy because you have crazy regen and a lot of attack speed. But here comes the teleport. You've got to peel off of this now. You can't keep doing the dragon. Good decision by the team to immediately, all of them as a team, to back away. You don't want to risk it. It's not worth it. Even if the enemy team was doing dragon here, which it looks like they are because the dragon hasn't come back to its spot yet. You know, if Skarner had to leave this, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just the first dragon. Now he needs to be careful he doesn't get collapsed on here because Annie's coming down the river as well. He is going to get collapsed on. He's got his flash. He's going to be fine. TF. Oh, he's dead. Rest in pepperonis. But you know, this dragon honestly right now shouldn't have tried to contest it. He did waste his flash, but at least he didn't die. But it's fine. You know, it's okay to give up objectives this early on into the game. It happens. You know, it's not. Did he just smite? He just smited Zac to someone from recoiling. All right, that's some level of BM. But he needs to, honestly, looking at his gold now. How much gold does this guy have? He's got 1500, which means he can afford his Cinderhulk. Cinderhulk is 1400. Any jungle enchantment is 1400 from your base jungle item, i.e. the Stalker's Blade, the Ranger's Trailblazer, etc. Once you got those, it's 1400 till you can get your enchant. So as soon as you can afford it, you really should be looking to buy it. And because he already had a Ruby Crystal, he had more than enough gold to get his Cinderhulk here. So yeah, he's gone Cinderhulk and Ruby Crystal. Not sure what he's going to be building into that. Maybe Righteous Glory, that's good on him, on Skarner. Black Cleaver's good on Skarner as well. Titanic Hydra is okay, but probably not this early. But yeah, so he's pretty strong right now. He remembered there's a pink ward here, that's nice, so he can stomp that. I would try and either secure the Scuttle Crab here or go and dive bot lane. These are your two options. Trying to dive against a Soraka, bit risky, though you can burst the Soraka down. If you try and fight the Vayne, that's not going to work. But if you try and fight the Soraka, it might work, though Vayne would most likely get a kill. It's a little too early, really, to be going for those tower dives, at least right now. How do I get rid of the chat here? I can't remember. Wasn't there like an option for... Oh, that's the fire alarm going off. That's... I hope you guys can't hear that, but if you can, I can only apologize. That's a good indication that it's my dad's turn to cook today. Anyway, going into the bot lane, waiting for the 5 people in this bot lane. This is why everyone hates playing bot lane right now. 5 people in this bot lane. You know what? I'm gonna replay that because I was distracted from the fire alarm. So here we go. Gonna pause and just look at the setup here. So what initially was going to be a gank from the red side turns out to be a really good counter gank from the blue side, because as soon as they dedicate and the hook is landed, TF goes in and Riven goes in as well. Now, a bit of CC overlap, which isn't good. Usually, you don't want to overlap your CC to kind of waste it, but whatever, it's fine. The TF gold card and the Skarner ult. 5 people in the bot lane, 2 teleports. That's, very irritating if you are the red team right now. But that's good, if you've got these TPs, that's how you want to use them. You want to wait until there's a play being made. It's often a lot easier if you've got TP to kind of counter a play than it is to set one up. If you set one up, the enemy team is very easily going to react to the play, and they can just get away from you. But if you react to the play yourself, that like you're countering a play from the enemy team, then that's a lot easier because you know, they've already dedicated, and so they're kind of screwed, really. So let's see what this guy's got in mind now. Honestly, Skarner should be looking to upgrade his trinket. Well, actually, he can't do that. It's only level 8. Ignore me. But he should be getting some wards here. His pink ward has died, so he can try and get that. There you go. He's got a pink ward. He's completed his phase, which means he's going into Black Cleaver. It's a good item on the Skarner. But at this stage of the game, especially from the top lane's point of view, from Riven's point of view, you really do want to try and get some deep vision down. Around this area would be good to get some deep vision. And bot lane tower is dead as well, so again, oh excuse me, I got hiccups. It's good to get deep vision around here as well. That would be ideal, because when the first tier towers are dead, chances are your lanes are going to be pushing a bit further up. For example, right here, this lane's a bit further up, this lane's further up as well, and you want the vision to make sure you know, the further up you are, the more vulnerable you are to ganks, because you're further away from home. So the vision really helps you to you know, be sorted in that position. So that's what the Skarner should be looking to do. Of course, he's just going for his Black Cleaver first. He's not level 9, you know, so he can't upgrade his trinket yet. This is a very, very squishy Amumu, but that's what you get when you rush Runeglaive on Amumu. It's honestly, you know, it can work, but I actually don't think Runeglaive is a bad item on Amumu, but it is something you've got to be careful of. You're extremely squishy, so if you go in, you need to make sure that you have the backup, as Amumu did there, and that you're not just going to get instantly blown up. So, again, that was just a little bit aggressive, honestly. Just a little too aggressive right there. Trying to push up so far and take the tower. They don't really have a good siege team if they're not all in position with each other, because Jinx is great for taking down the tower, but everyone else, you know, TF is decent as well, but he has to get quite close, so he's vulnerable to the heavy engage that Amumu and Annie has. But anyway, I'm going to pause here just to kind of set the scene for this dragon play. So dragon's about to go down, and I think the biggest thing that's going to turn this fight is twofold. Firstly, TF isn't here, however, TF's ultimate is up. He doesn't actually have teleport, which is interesting, but it's fine. You know, he's got his ultimate, so TF can join this fight quite easily. We only see 4 members of the enemy team here. Zac isn't here, but his TP will, you can assume his TP is going to be up. I can see here from the replay that it is up, but the blue team won't know for sure, but they may as well guess that it is going to be up. However, the biggest thing, so this is essentially just going to be a 5v5, but the biggest thing that's going to sway this fight is this bad boy right here. Some call him El Draco, others just call him Dragon, depending on how sane you are. Dragon right now is already leashed, and look at Amumu's health. I don't know why Amumu is like upside down and rolling around. I'm not quite sure why he's doing that, but you know, whatever floats your boat, Amumu. He's almost on half health, and looking at his items, and we've already established this Amumu squishy as ball sacks. This guy really shouldn't be leashing Dragon right now. I don't think if they want to leash Dragon and you know, bait this fight and try and force the blue team to come towards them, then they need Zac to be the one to tank it, because he's the only one that's tanky, and Amumu is not tanky enough to do this. Now, you do have the ambulance Soraka who can chuck some heals down, but you don't really want to waste those, because it means that Soraka is going to be getting low on her health, and you know, the cooldowns and all that lovely business. Essentially, this Dragon here will probably do a bit too much damage to the red team before this play happens, and it might just swing the fight in the blue team's favour. Now, as you can see, when the blue team comes around to try and start this play, all of the red team, most of the red team, are kind of like on half health already, which is not great, and they've already done the service to the blue team of leashing the Dragon onto half health. Now, however, the blue team here, because the red team's had to back away, they now get the Skarner point, which means that Skarner is now a lot stronger here as well. I think Skarner's playing a little far back here, but honestly, it doesn't really matter, because as soon as these guys get the jump on the red team, it's like, this fight is honestly somewhat close, really. If you look at the people on the enemy team, on the blue team, sorry, these people, you know, Thresh almost died, Skarner, Riven, all of these people, if they could just be attacked for a little while longer, they would die. They would be dead. If people could just dedicate to them for a little longer, they would be dead. But the red team can't do that, because they were too low to be able to stay in. They all just died a little too early. Why was that? Because they aggro the dragon. If you do not have someone tanky enough to tank this objective, whether it's Baron, whether it's Dragon, then you really shouldn't start it, because the objective will pretty much lose you the fight by itself, because it will just beat the crap out of you. I do think Skarner should be playing a bit more aggressive, a bit more up there, considering his build, which is the full tank build. But, you know, he's, honestly, this guy's doing really well right now. It's quite, I really like specifically how he's playing, just because it doesn't look like he's making loads of flashy plays and doing really like insane stuff and making it happen. And honestly, he's not. But it doesn't matter, because he doesn't have to make the flashy play. He doesn't have to, you know, go all in on that stuff. Again, Squishy and Mumu. He's just in the right place at the right time, and he's making the plays happen. I mean, that's all you gotta do, really, when you think about it. There's never been a contested objective that Skarner hasn't been around to at least try and make something happen. There's never been a huge fight that Skarner hasn't been around in either. There was one in this bot lane which happened, but I think that was kind of like a suicide play to get the tower. But still, Skarner, and that was, you know, Skarner was in base when that started, so it's not even his fault. This Skarner just has good movements around the map. He knows when stuff is going to happen, and he's getting there before it's happening, so that he can influence these plays. It's really, really smart play, and it doesn't look flashy, but when you do something right, sometimes people don't even know you're doing anything at all, which is definitely applicable, yes, to, I can't do England, guys, it's, you know, nah. Definitely applicable to how Skarner is playing right now. 5-1 and 6, and a deserved scoreline, honestly. So he hasn't upgraded his trinket yet, which really, I mean, Skarner, you lazy git, upgraded trinket. In fact, everyone in this game, one person in this game has the upgraded trinket, and it's the Riven. That is not something you hear every day. Riven has upgraded their trinket. Riven is, the people who play Riven are selfish players who just, you know, want more damage and want to make the Riven montage plays, and they don't actually think about, you know, with their brain. And of course, there's a huge stereotype generalization, but still, it's surprising that only one person has upgraded their trinket when everyone in this game should have their upgraded trinket. There's really not a good enough reason for these guys to not have their upgraded trinkets. I know I'm gonna sound like a just incessant kind of like I'm like your mum nagging you, but seriously, upgrade your bloody trinkets. Now, what the blue team here has done has been quite smart, unlike what Annie did there, sadly, but I don't think she was actually looking at her own position, she was just looking at the map. What she was doing, what the blue team did, sorry, which was smart, was they had a 1-3-1 split push, and the red team tried to group and take the tower. However, their siege is not that great. Amumu can't help with the siege, Zac can't really help with the siege unless he dives. And Vayne, a bit too low range. He's not like Jinx or Tristana, or Kog'Maw, who can take down towers easily. They don't really have a good siege team. So the red team can't siege, which means the blue team can easily defend. And they had a lot of wave clear just with TF alone, honestly. So blue team was easily able to defend, which meant that the Riven could split push top and Jinx could split push bot lane. And they managed to get a really successful split push off. And honestly, this game, it's hard to pinpoint exact areas where this game went so wrong, because the red team were ahead in kills for a lot of this game. They weren't doing terrible at all, but it was just a really good I think macro play, which is like plays around the map by the blue team. Now that's the end of the game, so that's all I want to do for this one. I'm still learning and practicing as far as these viewer analysis videos go, so let me know if you have any feedback in the comments, any tips. And I'm not going to open my email for flooding of replays, but keep your eyes on my Twitter, on my Facebook, and I will ask when I want a replay to do more of these videos. But yeah, thank you a lot for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. You can go find me on Facebook and Twitter, like I just said. Those links are in the description. You can catch me streaming on Twitch as well. And don't forget to subscribe if you like the video. And of course, you can drop it a thumbs up if you really, really want to do that. And I would love you forever if you did. But yeah, that's what I want to say, guys. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. And have a great day.